You know what? We are doing it. He's back. Slender Man. We just need to talk about him. Originating from an online competition calling for scary images or not, people say that they've seen something that looks like him or Slender Man himself. Or it, if it's not a him. I don't know. Let me know if you believe in Slender Man down below. Because I just have to say, what if all people who believe in Slender Man have created him? Keep with me. If you think of some of the, I don't know, Dungeons and Dragons mythos, there's an aspect of achieving existence, powers, and ultimately being a deity if enough people believe in you. So if you believe enough, maybe it is real. So if you do believe, maybe stop believing because that'll give them less power. I don't know. Anyways, good day, most amazing fam. It's time to talk about Slender Man. I'm your host Abby, and this is Top 10 Scary Slender Man Sightings Part 2. So he is tall, thin, with long arms and a blank, faceless even, expression, and he wears a dark suit. Slender Man is said to have powers of distortion of audio-visual equipment, shape manipulation, teleportation, select invisibility, psychosis to victims, and mind control. And that's quite a bit. But anyways, now we know what we're looking for. Let's dive in. Starting at number 10. Did it exist before? So this comes from back in 2008 when a book was published, There's Something in the Woods. It's a non-fiction book by Nick Redfern. And so within it, a witness he interviewed had an encounter on the Canic Chase with a paranormal entity that sounds quite a bit like Slender Man. While you listen to this description, keep in mind that Slender Man wasn't invented until that competition in 2009. Plus, this person's specific encounter happened in 2001, 7 years before the book's release and 8 years before the first imagery of Slender Man was posted online. So think about that. So in it says, this character was tall with very thin arms and legs, dressed in what I presumed were gray trousers and a tight long sleeve shirt of the same color. His hairless head was elongated and neck spindly, and his arms reached practically past his knees. I could not discern a facial feature. I realized he was around 3 meters tall. And so if you think of that, and then the imagery of Slender Man, put that together, is it possible that Slender Man existed before the imagery did? Let's think about that. But first, on to a video, number 9, seen climbing buildings. So this clip apparently comes from Russia. In the video, you see some shaky footage of a building, and then a dark figure is seen making its way down the bright side of the building. It appears to have a very slender torso and small head, but very long arms and legs. It appears to be climbing downwards. In comparison to other versions of Slender Man we have seen, this one is much larger. But some resources say that Slender Man is known to shapeshift, so could be him. Some people say he has tentacles springing from his back, so who's to say whether or not he's stretchy too? Also, this makes me think, is this what Spider-Man is really? Because look at those limbs. It looks like a giant daddy long-legged spider crawling up the side of a building, or crawling down the side of a building. Either way, this is a long, lanky guy looking for his next meal, and I wouldn't want to be in that building, honestly. On number 8, we have window watching. So this one comes from Yoon B. Del Rey on Reddit. They said they watched a video called Slenderman Sighting 2012 during the day, and they thought it was a fake one when they clicked it on the link, but after watching it, they still thought it was fake. Surprise. Later that night though, they did have a weird experience that made them change their mind. From their living room window, they can see past their fence to a big hill located behind their front yard, and they have sliding glass doors exiting to the backyard from the kitchen. They heard a knock on the glass doors in the night and went over to take a peek. They didn't see anything, so they shut whatever blinds they had there, locked all the doors and windows around the house, and then went back to what they were doing, watching movies. So as they continued to watch movies with their dogs, they got the crawling sensation that something was staring at them. They went to look out the window of the living room and said their soul was lost. There's a tiny window there that points out the backyard so they can look out. They saw what looked like a tall man with a black suit and tie. He had no face and was extremely skinny. He was standing up on the hill looking right at them. They ran up to their room and locked the door and hid in the closet, just not wanting to deal with it, and then nothing happened, but they still hear knocks on their window every once in a while. After just watching some videos and having that experience, I'd be kind of creeped out too. And so what was the video they watched earlier that day that made them think of Slender Man? Well, that is our number 7, Kid on Trampoline. In this video, there's a kid bouncing around doing tricks on a trampoline. Behind him, in between the shed and a green barn-like structure, is a figure. The figure has an all-white face that looks like an upside-down egg and is in black clothes. When the camera zooms in closer, it appears to be in a suit, a blood-red dress shirt, and a white tie. After the zoom in, the camera gets shaky and the footage ends. So now keep in mind, while the footage can feel ominous and is kinda creepy to me, this could also be a man in a white morph suit with clothes on top. So always keep an eye out for what you think might be a fake. Still creepy to me though. We have another video at number 6, on the computer, then something in the hallway. So this video starts with the person behind the camera directing it at someone on their computer. Then they turn towards the hallway and we see it. Although it is shaky footage, we see something for a split second that is so tall that its head nearly hits the ceiling, and it also has long arms. There is then again shaky footage, but the camera turns back to what is believed to be Slender Man. This time there's a glow of light behind it, so we can kind of see the figure a bit more. And also, now I'm not so sure what it may be, because it could be maybe a shadow that is cast, but I wouldn't go messing with it. Number 5, in the Titanic. So this video comes from Travis Andrew Barker on YouTube back in 2012. His brother or him caught Slender Man behind Rose and Jack in the movie The Titanic.
My brother was watching The Titanic and he found Slenderman. If you can see right there, we paused the movie.
So after watching it, yes, I understand Slender Man's need to interfere with Jack and Rose's relationship. We all know 2 people could fit on that door. That's just physics. But this also is a bit much, Slender Man, you know? Appearing in the Titanic movie, I bet this may be overexposure on maybe a fancy, like, white guy's face at the same time. What is happening? How did Slendy get in there? Also, this is obviously a VHS tape, and Slendy has no business doing that on a VHS. Leonardo DiCaprio may be babyfaced in this movie, but he's no child, no victim for Slenderman to go after, so move on. And also, keep your tentacle arms off Kate Winslet because she deserves better. Also, in this video, my favorite thing is this guy says, I mean, my brother was watching the Titanic, trying to cover up for himself, so you know what, I get it. You know, you don't want people to possibly roast you for watching a conventional rom-com, but I commend you. On top of that, you spotted Slendy, so good job. On to number 4, man sees daughter walking away with Slender Man. So in this video, we hear a man's voice calling out Sally while running down a road. Then he says no a few times before moving the camera upwards and zooming in on who I assume is Sally with a figure. Once he zooms in, we see her walking with a white, smooth-headed man in a suit. Slender Man? Maybe. Possibly a fake as well. So the footage is quite shaky, and Slender Man is taller than the girl, but not as tall as the tales of Slender Man say. But the hand-holding is a callback to the original photo submission for the contest, so I will give them that. Also, either way, if anyone's walking away with, I don't know, your daughter, niece, just person in like a field, that's just creepy regardless if it's Slender Man or not, you know? Moving on to number 3, kid sees something in his backyard. Or Slendy in the garden. So in this video we start off with a kid in his garden saying he saw a weird figure outside in the garden from his window. He pans upward and beside his red shed is a white-headed figure in dark clothes. The kid starts shaking and screaming and then runs off with the camera pointed at the ground. And yes, I know this could be fake, I know. But the kid is fearing something. Like, the screams sound so real. Like, does he know it's award season? Because if he is acting, he deserves an award. I believe it. Just amazing. I'm quite empathetic, and hearing that kid screams, I'm like, I feel for this kid, you know? He had to go through that. I don't, oof, ugh. Shivers. Meryl Streep, who, you know. On to number 2, old footage. So this footage states on it that it is from April 7th, 1996. With different apps and editing tools, it's easy to fake the old camera look, so I wouldn't trust that part of this footage too easily. Plus, if it ends with a blackout, what is this, found footage? I don't know. But if we do take this video at its word for what it is, someone is looking around a structure and slowly moves their camera around the far corner. What they see is a tall figure in a suit with long arms that matches our Slender Man description perfectly. Once the person sees Slender Man, the camera goes down, but it seems to go down slowly as if the camera person is giving up on either filming or is defending themselves. And I don't know which. But I did mention that Slender Man may have powers to distort camera and audio equipment and may have mind control powers, so maybe this is evidence of that. I don't think so, but it is a possibility to keep in mind. On to number 1, luring. So this video has this kid in a cheery voice saying, I see Slender Man, and this nice dad is saying, no, not the real one. And then lo and behold, he turns the corner, the video distorted, and the man is being affected in some sort of way. Think for yourself, what was Slender Man's agenda? Making the kid bring his dad over so he could kill the dad and then steal the kid away? Or what? Because we know Slender Man goes after kids, so if the kid's already looking, what is Slendy doing here? I don't know. But anyways, those are the top 10 scary Slenderman sightings part 2, and let me know what you think about this or what you believe was Slendy down below. Can our combined consciousness and belief create a monster? Or did this monster exist before the Photoshop contest, and that, the artist's interpretation, was what he saw one time when he saw a monster sighting? Who knows? But I've been your host, Abby Kelly. Thank you for watching, and until next time, think critically. Bye! Slender Man, Slender Man does whatever a slender guy can. Okay, I'm done. Coffee's hitting. Okay. For the YouTube clip started at 6:49. Thanks. Coffee. I need to get the coffee out. Yeah. Okay. I always have to pause the videos like sporadically so I can like calm down, or else the tension builds and then I'm like freaked out, you know? We all know two people could foot. Watch Titanic. Just kidding, it's not that good a movie. Watch Little Women, it's better. Okay, 4. When the coffee, also I was eating gummy bears. It's too much sugar at once, yeah. I've been your host, Abby Kelly. Thank you for watching, and until next time, think critically. Bye. Slender arms out. Wah.